This is the auto park on the XPENG X9. Look at that. Amazing.
The auto park function is parking better than mine.
Today I'm going to share with you a review of the XPENG X9 together with the new owner, George, who just got the car 2 weeks ago. In this video, we'll share with you a tour of the exterior and the interior. We'll talk about all of its tech features. We'll talk about why he got this car over all the other MPV options and share a final verdict on who should get this car. Click subscribe to stay updated to more videos on EVs. George, welcome to the channel.
Thanks for inviting me.
Can you share with us what made you switch from ICE to your first EV ever?
So I think one of the reasons that I switched over to EV is because the government has been pushing for EVs related cars, and I thought why not go and take a look at other EVs and to explore what are the EV options available. So because my family, we have two young kids, and there are car seats, right? So it's pretty uncomfortable if we have a 5-seater. So looking at a 7-seater is one of our priority. Yeah. So we come from Honda Odyssey, our previous car, and then so one of the reason is we went to look at first M6, and M6 is a new car at the time for a 7-seater, and we thought that it was a bit smaller than Honda Odyssey, so we didn't go ahead with that. And because of the car is the back doors of M6, right, is not a sliding door, and we are afraid that our kids will actually bang other cars and get us into trouble, so we skipped that in the end. So we went to look around at other EVs like Denza as well, and we find that all the EVs actually has a very much higher tech.
Yes.
Yeah, and that is why we think that it's no point going back to ICE car anymore.
That's right. So there are more and more good EV MPV options, even plug-in hybrids. This car here, I believe you got it for around 325k Sing dollars, inclusive of Cat B COE.
Yes.
And like George mentioned, there are other good EV options at the BYD M6, which is around half the price, around 160,000 Sing dollars, inclusive of COE. However, those do not have sliding doors, they open up doors. And with younger kids, especially kids below 12 years old, they're not always the most careful.
Yeah.
I'm going to be behind the camera now as George gives us a tour. I'll be asking many of the questions you would want to ask about this car as well. So George, thank you for being a tour guide.
I think it looks like a spaceship if you take a close look at it. And when I talked to the salesperson, right, she told me that actually some people will like it, some people will don't. So it really depends on when you first look at it, you like it or not. So when we first go to the showroom, right, I think the front look is pretty good, and so that's why we like it for our side. And as we move towards the back, right, I think the back of the car is kind of unique as well.
Yeah, even the side profile, again, it looks sharp. Actually, it reminds me a bit like a Kia EV9. Do you all get a chance to test drive or consider the car as well?
No, we didn't go and drive that car.
And like you mentioned, one of the key considerations for families is a sliding door. So you can see that all the door handles are flush. Like how do people open the door on this car?
Just a simple tap over here.
So like you mentioned, really high tech, even greeted by music as well.
Yeah, so once you tap on it, the mid-row seats, right, will actually move back by themselves to allow the passengers to sit inside.
That's pretty epic. And we'll come back to the interior later. And to close the door, do we do the same?
Yes, just a simple click will do.
So easy. And what we have on the rear here is also your charge port. So down here, George, how do we open the charge port?
We need to open by the app. So there's a port over here in the app, and
there we go. So in the charge port, we've got, for the XPENG X9, we have 11 kilowatt AC charging, good for slow charging, especially in the mall. And we've got DC fast charging because XPENG has the 800 volt architecture, you can charge up to 320 kilowatts DC fast charging. Now George, as we were having a conversation earlier, because is this still a new car for you, you mentioned that you're mostly using AC charging for now. Tell us more.
So the malls that I usually go to, all mostly are more AC. So so far I only get to use AC as the charging for the XPENG.
And that's worked well. Do you have any home charging at all in your home?
Not for now, but our condo is pushing for it.
That's great. I imagine for a lot of new EV owners, people may ask like, oh, if I don't have home charging, would that be a concern? How do you overcome that barrier?
Because you have to look at your own lifestyle and see how you can blend charging. Like when you bring your kids to enrichment or you go for malls, shopping malls, when you are doing groceries, how you can blend your EV charging during those times as well.
I think that's a great point. So anyone who's considering EV MPV in Singapore, battery technologies improve so much. This car comes with up to 590 kilometers WLTP range. That means you can drive to KL without charging. Later, when we take a look at the interior, you can see that George, right now the car is at 59% state of charge, about 300 km range. So the real world range is around 500 km, not a problem at all. And again, if you're going to kids enrichment centers and weekends, charging in malls, that's going to be useful for your use case. So as we plug back in the charge ports, you can see we'll start here with the DC first and then the AC on top. That's it. And how do we close it?
There's a button that you can close here, or the app as well.
That's great. Tell us, I want you to tell us a bit more about the app later, but you mentioned that the rear is very iconic. What's unique about the rear of this car?
So if you look at the shape of the rear of the car, right?
Yes.
It's a bit like there's a curve in and then curve out. So the difference between this car and other MPVs, right, like Alpha, is that it has a much lower opening radius. That means for Alpha, probably they will need this space, but for this car, you only need this space as only. So it's a much smaller opening space you required, especially if you park in a very tiny car spot parking lot.
And this is so critical, especially in Singapore where our car parks are tighter, our roads are smaller. One of the considerations George mentioned we're talking about before filming this video was, when you compare this to the Denza D9, the height of the MPV was important. Tell us more.
Yeah, so we went to test drive Denza before. So Denza height is 1.92, and at first we thought it was a possible option, but then after I went to research on some of the car parks like Bishan, their car parks is like 1.85, and some of the concerns that we had was that if it rains at the time, where are we going to pick up our kids? Where do we park when we go to that mall? So that is one of the concerns that we didn't get Denza in the end.
And what's the height for this car?
This car is around 1.79
So
or lower.
1.79 or lower. So you can see again, if the trunk is covered, it's 1.79. So although MPVs are really high, we don't want them to be too high in Singapore as well. And one of the first things that immediately caught my eye when we opened the trunk space is the two kid scooters. So look at that. Can you tell us a bit more about the storage space here compared to your previous MPVs, George?
So in our previous MPV, Honda Odyssey, right, the trunk space is around half the size. So most of the things you have to power up to quite high, and it's very messy. But for this car, right, you can lay it out better, and there's still plenty of space over here.
Absolutely. And because it's so tech laden, like even the third row seats, they are actually powered as well. You can fold them down once and twice, even folding all the way back down here to give you a really large, more than 2100 liter storage space. Right now, George, you're using this for child seats in the third row. How do you think about the seating configuration for family inside this 7-seater?
For X9, right, I think the seating configuration is very flexible, because you can put the car seat at the third row as well as the second row as well. And the third row, they do have ISOFIX in one of the seats. So it's up to you to configure whether you want your child to sit in the second or the third row.
Amazing. And now with a tall MPV like this, like For yourself, you're quite tall, so you're able to click on the close button. But for people who are more fun size, are there any other alternative ways of closing the trunk?
Oh, you can actually adjust the height to where you want to go up to. So it's set to my height.
Yes.
So that I won't hit the trunk, and I can just tap on this easily.
How about the XPENG app? Could you close the trunk with the app as well?
Yes, we can close it.
Love to
with the
learn
app.
how, if you can show us how it works.
Just click on this and it will close by itself.
Amazing. Nowadays, EVs are really smart. What would you say are some of your favorite app features?
One of the favorite app feature I have is the forward or reverse function using the app.
Let's check it out. So like we got plenty of parking space here, so as George moves us back, can you show us like how it works?
So I'm into the app. There's a forward and reverse function, and all I need to do is to click on the back, and then it will move back. So it's very sensitive. Once you hands off, right, it will stop.
Wow, and how far can it go?
It can go quite far.
Let's see if we can move a little bit back, maybe another 10, 15 more meters.
Okay.
That's amazing. What would be the practical use case for this?
So imagine you are in a car park and there's not enough space for you to open your boot. So you can move it front a little with this app without going in the car to drive the car forward. And you open the boot and take out your things, and you don't want to go back into the car to drive it back again. So you just shift, use this app to reverse back to the so that it doesn't the car is not too forward.
It's amazing. And I imagine a hot sunny day like this, before you come in, one of the key benefits many EV owners tell us is you're able to turn on the aircon before going in, so it's not a barbecue for you all.
Yes.
Can you show us how?
So we just need to turn on the AC, and you can choose maximum cool, and then which seats you want aircon to be, right? So because it's already started, there's aircon inside, so there's no need for me to press right now. But usually when I press these two functions, right, the aircon will start to run.
That's amazing. So talking about aircon, let's head inside the front seats for you to give us an interior tour right now. Let's start with the first row. So we'll see you all inside. George, walk us through how you get in.
So
just pull in and head inside. And I'll see you on the passenger side. So you can see in just this short tour, like just how much tech there is in this vehicle. I'm really impressed because this is my first time truly experiencing the XPENG X9. So as we come in here, one of the first things we see is premium interior. You've got the ERP2 unit down there. How has that experience been, because the cash card is over there? Any challenges so far?
it's a little difficult to put the cash card in and taking it out because it's quite a distance from the driver's seat.
And you are a tall person, so like if someone's more fun size, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to reach a cash card as well.
Yes, correct.
But here inside, I can see that the seats are like easy entry. So when the door opens, the seat slides out. When the door closes, it slides back in as well. Can you give us a short tour about the interior? Tell us more about what we are seeing here.
Okay, so if you look at the center of the car, there's wireless charging over at the middle part.
Is it 2 wireless chargers or just 1?
2.
Oh, that's great. So if I put my phone, it will charge as well?
Yes. So yeah, you
Amazing.
can see your phone is charging.
Yeah, that's great. And you got a large touchscreen in the middle. So for a lot of people coming from ICE car like the Honda Odyssey, coming to the first EV, there's so much being controlled on the screen. Some people like it, some people are worried. What is your experience?
I feel that from our previous car, right, there's not much control. So with this car, right, there's many things that you can configure and control over here. It's just taking a bit of time to get used to that.
There's a large touchscreen, a lot of features over here. And what is the driving experience of this car compared to your previous Honda Odyssey?
So this car, right, is very quiet. So my wife always commented that, wow, it feels so quiet right now. I can fall asleep so easily. So the kids also, I feel that they can fall asleep easily. And but because it's a new car, right? So they tends to be overexcited over that instead. Yeah. So other than being very quiet, it's the smoothness of the car. I think it has a smooth braking system that helps the car to brake much more smoother. Like it's not too jerky.
Amazing. And I noticed that there's also a camera slot on the driver's A pillar as well. Is that being used at all in Singapore?
This is the onboard camera.
Yes.
So I think there's a function in the app saying to alert you, right, if the driver is feeling drowsy.
Amazing.
So I think it's something similar to Tesla as well, where they alert you when the driver is not showing signs of tiredness.
Lots of space here. You can see even the center console as well. Can I open this, George? Can
Yeah,
you show us
sure.
like what's in there?
So
you can see
put a lot of different.
lots of storage space.
things inside.
We've got 2 cup holders over here. And again, the highlight of this car, you can see the aircon vents also very unique looking. Nice premium material design. You can see very premium surfaces on top. And of course, the real reason why someone gets an MPV, apart from families, is business professionals. They like to sit in the second row. So let's go check out the second row seats and experience a little bit more about its comfort and its space. So we'll see y'all behind on the second row. Let's head there. So to open the door, I just click this button over here. You can see. Then the seats fold back and I can enter the second row. And as we head out,
Mobile phone left in the vehicle.
wow, it even tells us that the mobile phone's left. And you can see George and I greeted a lot more space. And so, as I come in here, how do I close the door? Just press this button here.
Yes.
So I press this button and the doors close. And you can see over here. Now one of
The
the
child lock is unlocked.
selling points of
Please
this
try
car
again after locking it.
is to tell us that they have a large 21-inch screen in the second row. Can you show us how it works?
Okay, so right now, right, because we don't want our kids to touch it and then use the television, so we actually lock it. So if we want to enable it, right, we have to enable it from the front seat.
I see.
So give me a second.
It's a very good feature for parents who don't want their kids to be watching too many cartoons on the drive, especially young kids.
So there's a app, there's function that is locking the rear screen,
Okay.
and now you can see that I can turn on the TV screen from here.
And this is a huge screen. Wow. And we can watch YouTube, Disney Plus, Apple TV. So much is going on here. Prime Video, TikTok. Whoa. Instagram, Audible. This is a full-on screen. Like you don't see. I haven't seen any other cars with all of these in one. Even Teslas, they don't have Apple TV. They used to have Disney Plus, no longer have. And you all have Prime Video here. Amazing. So I imagine that this would be amazing for long road trips or when parents are waiting for kids, sitting down here, doing some work. To what extent was the screen an important consideration when buying a car?
It's not too important as a consideration, but it's good to have because you can get to enjoy the screen if you want to relax on the second row.
Yeah. And it's so big that the passengers on the third row can also enjoy the movie. So tell us a bit more about the seats here in the second row. They mentioned that they've got, again, the zero gravity seats and massage chairs as well. Can you show us how it works?
For us, right, the zero gravity is a more upgraded version.
Got it.
So ours is not the zero gravity seats, but there's different, like the massage function is available here as well, and you can always lift up the seats, the legs of the seats. Yeah, and there's also cooling and warming function.
So I'm seeing all these buttons here on my side. You can see that there's a way to adjust the seat. There's all ways to turn on the heating. Obviously, we won't use heating in Singapore. There's cooling as well, and you can adjust how it leans back. So really helpful. And this car has a fridge, almost 10 liters of fridge storage. George, can you show us the fridge and how have you
sure.
been using the fridge right now?
So we put a lot of different drinks over here.
Wow.
Canned drinks,
Well
all
used.
the packet drinks.
Now, XPENG says that this fridge can go from 0 to 50 degrees Celsius, so it can cool things and can even warm things as well. How practical has this been for you?
We mostly use it for cooling of drinks, as well as maybe sometimes some food is require some refrigeration during traveling.
Yeah, so good, can be helpful for tapao as well. Do you think you can put durians in there or not?
Durians maybe not that. I mean packet if it's already open, yeah, then you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for the kids to close, they just press this button. This is the temperature setting, is it correct?
Yeah, for the fridge.
Okay, so powerful. And so just click on this and the fridge closes. So easy to use, and for an MPV, really practical. I know there have been some SUVs with fridge, but then this, especially for 7 people in a car, will be very useful. So now that we've seen the second row, there's also a sunroof on top. Can you tell us how to activate this?
Again, I lock it in the front row, so I have to activate. But I can also activate the sunroof from my app.
That's right.
So it's pretty. Let's see if I can open it right now. Oh, because the vehicle is started, right? I cannot use the app. But if I'm not in the vehicle, right?
Yes.
I can use this app. Other than that, right, I also can do that, right, with voice assistant.
Okay.
Though sometimes the voice assistant, oh, actually it's not locked. So
There you go.
yeah.
Revealing the sky. It's a beautiful sunny day, and this glass roof gives passenger options to have a more expansive space, especially for longer road trips.
Yeah. So if it's nighttime, you can always leave it open, so
Yeah.
you can view the starry night.
See the stars, see the moon, beautiful sky. Now, because this is a newer car, I imagine many owners in Singapore will want to tint their car. How are you thinking about tinting right now, George?
Yeah, we are thinking of that, because it's a bit hot in the daytime. Yeah, so we are actually thinking of that, but we haven't done it. Yeah.
So as we think about the heat, again, the good thing is that you can always close this shade at any time. Unlike some other brands, you don't have a shade to close it, so you live with it whether you like it or not. Now here you can see I'm really comfortable in the second row. What is the third row experience like? Have any adults been in there, or exclusively for kids for now?
Currently, we are putting two car seats behind, so baby seats. So one booster seat. So most of the time, so now only our children sitting there, but my wife sit behind before, so she feels very comfortable, very spacious behind that. And yeah.
So it looks like there's a lot of good things going for the XPENG X9. Is there anything that you wish would be better about this car?
Probably the voice assistant, because it's it's developed by China. Chinese, so I mean English speaking is not their native language, so sometimes when I pronounce something, it's harder for the voice assistant to understand what I'm trying to pronounce.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I know XPENG's working really hard to integrate hardware and software. They're even trying to build their own flying cars as well. So as the brand matures and expands in Southeast Asia, we'll definitely see more local language or even Singlish support. And you can see the software is amazing, the hardware is premium. Even this tray holder, this feels like, my friends tell me it feels like a business class tray. You know? It's not those cheap, flimsy one where you'll rattle and shake. How much does your family use this tray, if at all?
Yeah, sometimes my kids will sit over here and have their lunch or meals over here. Sometimes I will sit here to work on my iPad, and it's really comfortable because when I was in my Honda LSC, right, the only way I can do that is on the front seat, when the iPad is on my legs.
It's correct. So much more spacious here. And the good thing is, because this is an EV, you don't have to worry about turning off the engine.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so that was one of the considerations as well. So in the past, in the ICE car, right, I was a bit concerned if I turn on the engine for too long, and it's also quite bad for the environment and for the people outside of the car.
And especially for kids, like, you know, sometimes parents have big cars, rows of them in front of school, and they're all smelling the carbon monoxide. As more and more parents start moving to EVs, it's also a better environment for our kids near their schools. Okay, we've learned so much. Thank you, George. Let's head outside to wrap up with the final verdict on who should get this car. See you outside. George, thank you so much for giving us a tour of the XPENG X9. It's a really impressive MPV for the price of just 325,000 Sing dollars, inclusive of Cat B COE. You saw the tag on the phone, on the car. You saw how premium the materials are. Who would you recommend this car for, George?
I would recommend this car actually for families who have young kids, with 2 or more young kids, because the car seats will take up a lot of space in the car. And if you want more comfort, you definitely need a 7-seater. And this car is really providing the space that you require if you have kids.
It certainly does. So if you're looking for a family MPV, please come test drive this car. You'll find the link to test drive the XPENG X9 down in the video description. Let us know down in the comments what questions you have for George and myself. If you found this video useful, please click the like button and hit subscribe to stay updated for more videos on EVs. Thank you, George.
Thank you, Daren.
And it's a wrap.
Yeah, thanks.
And we just met Daddy an hour ago. He's so kind to share his personal experience with us.